and gentlemen, and welcome to our very first Rising Stars segment. And today, you're looking at me as if I've done something wrong there.
No, I'm waiting for you to finish what you're saying first.
And today we've travelled up to Scotland, and we've got young Astyn McKechnie. Have I said that right, buddy?
Said that right.
Yeah, lovely. So we're with Astyn, and it's great to have you on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for agreeing.
You can take your headphones off now, mind.
I can take my headphones off, okay. You could have told me that before you started.
No, I wanted to leave it in.
He always likes to catch me out on something.
No, we never. No editing.
No editing.
No structure.
No
just
editing, no structure. Just
rambling.
Over the flow.
Yeah. So, Astyn,
Yep.
bowls
Yeah, balls.
becomes a big part of your life, I think.
Every day, basically.
So, how did it start then?
2017, I used to go watch my local football team kind of thing. I mean, my dad used to go to the bowling club before it every week. And one of the days, a guy called Duncan stays like kind of up the hill, asked me if I wanted to play. And I tried it. At first I was like, and I kept trying it and got really into it. And just started enjoying bowls, basically.
And how old were you when you started that?
When I started, I was about 8, yeah.
Right, okay. And who was the person who got you going, did you say?
Duncan McCallum.
And is he related to you?
No, he's a kind of family friend, to be fair, but yeah, he's alright.
And what club was that at?
Greenock, Victoria.
Okay.
I don't play there anymore, but...
Oh, no.
A traitor.
So you
No
become,
loyalty in these kids
you
anymore.
become famous and then you sort of dump them to do... Where do you play now?
Port Glasgow.
Right. A better team?
Yeah.
Okay.
Way better team.
Okay. And sometimes that's got to happen, innit? You've got to
Yes.
develop. You get into sort of national level, and we'll come to all that in a while. But you get to national level, and then you've got to move on, and you've got to
Totally.
keep
Basically.
playing with better players to get better yourself.
Yep.
So you play the outdoors there, is it?
Yeah, play outdoors.
And then indoors?
Indoor Inverclyde Bowling Club.
Okay, so back to outdoor.
Yeah.
Started at 8.
Started at 8, yeah.
When did sort of success... When did you start thinking, oh, I'm not bad at this. I'm pretty good. Last week?
Next year. Next year.
Probably about 11, maybe. I played under 25 internationalist and beat him 21-9.
Right, okay.
So that's when I was like, maybe I can go do it, but just stay with and
Yeah.
keep playing.
Okay, so that's your first taste of success in a competition.
Yeah, that was...
When did sort of Scotland come knocking on the door? I suppose it was under 18s first?
Yeah, under 18s first, and I think it was 2024 I first capped for Scotland.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
So that was, how old were you then? 14?
14, 15 maybe, yeah.
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 And that was your first cap. And where was that? Can you remember?
Falkirk, I think, actually.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
So 2 years ago when I first saw you and I said, right, he's a good little player.
Yeah.
That was in Falkirk. That was,
Falkirk,
God, I
yeah.
can't believe it's just that long ago. It seems like ages ago now,
it was
doesn't it?
ages ago, yeah.
So under 18s, and then have you had any success under 25s yet, or?
Won the Scottish under 25 title. Yeah.
Okay, and we'll go on to the British Isles in a while.
Yeah.
What excites you about the game of bowls?
A lot, to be fair. I'm a competitive person, no matter what sport I play, even in school, football, anything. But just love it, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's one of those things you can't explain.
You can't explain how much you love it, but
you
it's
just
brilliant.
kind of you have
a team game on a Saturday, 16 players.
There's something peaceful and rewarding about throwing a little round wood with a bias down a green.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, because if we this audience hopefully is going to be a younger audience going to start watching and looking at what we think are rising stars, and we'll come on to, we had a podcast yesterday with Judy Forrest.
Yeah,
we talked at length about a number of youngsters, and you being one of them, which we come back to in a while.
And you're she says I don't take credit, but I am taking credit for how you've bowled the last year and a half after Falkirk.
So I think for youngsters who think in school. You still play football?
No.
Why
just balls full time.
Why did you give up football then?
Well, to be fair, no, I wasn't really good at it and thought, fancy
and
balls.
found you were good at balls, yeah?
Yeah.
And that's fine. But I think people think it's like, we were talking to your nan earlier on, it's like an old person's sport, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of people think that.
And then you get into
really
it and you realise it's no longer an old person's sport.
No.
There's lots and lots of youngsters playing bowls, and it's a shame that there aren't more youngsters,
100%,
I think we were talking on the way up in the car coming up from Wales, and we were talking about in Australia, I think they've got...
They had a international schools tournament, or inter-counties schools tournament. They were having...
That's something brilliant.
They were having 1,500 to 1,800 kids playing bowls against each other from schools.
And
how competitive would that be as well?
So... were you in your new club when you got capped first, or were you in your old club at that time?
I was in my old club at the time, yeah.
Yeah, but obviously you got capped through that.
Yeah, indoors.
So is that the one we passed just down the road?
Yep.
What's that one called?
Inverclyde.
Yeah. Okay.
There only is one indoor here, to be fair.
Yeah, and that's the thing with indoor, isn't it? You have like regional indoor sort of
basically
bowling clubs, and lots of clubs come and bowl there together.
To be fair, Ayrshire have 4, I think, but that's...
You probably have a few more up here than you do in Wales, mind?
Yeah, probably.
Just not much more, but probably a little bit more. Especially in like your bigger places, like your Glasgow's, Edinburgh's, you're probably not far off.
Yeah.
Having a couple. Outside skirts would have a few. Like in Wales, you're talking
10,
50. Well, and then 3 in North Wales. Well, you're looking about 15 total indoor.
I suppose,
And only 10 of them, are any decent. I'm not naming the 10, but
okay. Okay. So your first international experience was Falkirk.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
It was a good experience, to be fair. Didn't really medal with that, but yeah, it was pretty good. Enjoy that.
Yeah.
It was a good team we had at the time, to be fair. We still do have a good team, but...
You actually won that
tournament. That series
I got to say, you only just won it, though, because Wales nearly
Wales
got you.
and England were knocking on the door, basically.
The Wales was, 2 points behind in the end? And I think England were about 5 or 6.
Yeah.
A little bit further, but...
What... you obviously you'd been playing a couple of years before you got your cap, so you started at 8, you got your cap at 14, you've been playing 6 years at at that level. That's your first experience of international playing, and because that was our first year. The first time we ever live streamed as a podcast was up in Falkirk.
Yeah, well, it was only a month after we decided to do the damn thing.
The damn thing. You're not bit interested about it, are you?
But
the energy level, that's one of the things that shocked me.
The
energy level at under 18s was huge.
Brilliant. Chuck a ball within 2 feet and everybody's running at you. It's just different, to be fair.
Yeah, it's and especially at a level that obviously you could probably separate bowls a little bit in terms of 2 generations, right? Your older generation, it was a bit more shirt and tie, a bit more kind of refrained and that. And then our generation that just loves a shout and a scream, running up a green afterwards, high-fiving, jumping about, music,
exactly, that's
energy, everything.
Tell you something, my old club, actually, you still had to wear a shirt and tie until 2024.
Yeah.
Well, we talk about it, obviously, in our outdoor club. Our outdoor club's almost like a football match. All of our spectators are all shouting on the sideline.
That's brilliant.
You know what I mean?
That's what you want in bowls.
It's like almost having a football fans there, where they just chant, go on the bridge and all this stuff on the sideline, randomly at...
A county game on a Saturday up here outdoors, a good experience, to be fair.
Yeah.
Is that as good as the under 18s, or is it a bit better?
It's a bit better, because it's awful loud. It's 2 teams just shouting and bawling the whole time.
And obviously we mentioned, we spoke to Julie yesterday. The format for the under 18s.
It's set play. It's different.
I think it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's exciting. Especially in terms of your shorter format of both. I think a lot of top players now want shorter formats.
Yeah.
Especially your Scottish players. I think most, you look at BPL, they play sets. You look at British Isles, they play sets. You look at World Bowls.
Yeah, they play sets.
The World Bowls Tour play sets. Potters, sets. So everything big, major trophies are all sets.
So you play outdoors.
Yeah.
So I suppose you went to singles. It's going to be first to 21.
First to 21. Yeah.
Pairs is over
17 ends.
17 ends.
Yeah. Triples is 15.
Okay, and then fours.
Fours is 17 as well.
17. You play 17 ends in for the full rings as well. Okay, that's interesting.
Indoor it changes to
yeah.
as well.
And then indoors.
Indoors it's singles 21. 2 ball pairs, 2 sets of 9 ends. 4 ball pairs is 21 ends. Triples is 18, and fours is 21 as well.
Okay.
So it's pretty good.
It's just a lot
21 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
And then you go all of a sudden, you play with the Scottish under-18s team.
And you go into set play. It's
and you go into set plays. And in the fours, I think it's only 5 ends.
Yeah.
You can't afford a bad ball.
No.
Like generally, in the under-18s, you can't afford a bad ball.
Which you prefer? Which format do you prefer? It doesn't matter,
Probably a longer format, to be fair. I'm not a big fan of set play, but it is probably better for the game. Makes smaller players probably win games at times, but you see it on like your world qualifiers and that.
Yeah, I mean,
see a lot of shocks on these things because of set play.
I think the biggest issue you get with set play sometimes is, you're right, is you can usually have the weaker player can sometimes come out on top.
Yeah.
On paper, obviously, I will bring it up because he probably won't see this for a good while and he'll be all right with it. But Paul Foster in Potters, he should have won everything. He was
should have won a lot.
How he didn't win that, I don't know. He was 11-1 up and ended up losing it on a tiebreak.
Yeah,
and in terms of the best player, he was bowling by far the best out of anyone that whole week, and still didn't come away with the title.
Yeah,
which I think that's you're right. Set play can be a bit hit and miss with who deserves to go through. Like,
yeah, that's true. Under 18s is really hard, I'd say, because as you said, for one bad ball, you're basically out with that set.
I think what makes under 18s with that format a little bit more consistent, and you said it yourself before we started, is I think your under 18s is a little less inconsistencies.
Yeah.
They're a lot more inconsistent when it comes to
younger players.
Your overall. Yeah. So 9 times out of 10, your best players are usually fighting for that gold medal anyway in each discipline. So it's not like whoever's played the best that weekend is usually finding themselves in that. Yeah. Whereas that when you start to see the better players come in and the consistencies start to get a bit better, that's when then you start to get these little bits of flips on the heads,
Sprint, basically,
and the other thing with the under 18s is a one end tiebreak.
One end tiebreak.
That's the other thing. Yeah,
I don't know if I like the one end. I'd rather be a 3 end tiebreak. I think it makes it a little bit more. Or first to 3 shots. If you lose 3 in the first end, okay, so be it. But
fair enough. Yeah.
At least you're giving yourself a bit of a chance,
Yeah, I mean, similar to Potters, right, where they do the 3 end tiebreak.
Yeah.
You win the end. First to 2.
But if you're playing fours and you're only playing 5 ends at a time anyway, and then if you've got to play another 3, you're nearly doubling the length of the time. And the way the format is with the under 18s, it's sort of time wise, it all sort of ties up together quite nicely, doesn't it?
Yeah. Like it's 2 ball pairs as well. That's really hard, especially set play. A count could kill you.
The other thing from this show, obviously you guys played in Cumbernauld this year.
Yeah.
But in Falkirk there was also an extra team in Falkirk.
Yeah.
Where the British Lions played and they didn't have a British Lions team in Cumbernauld.
No.
So I mean that's one less round already for every discipline.
Yeah. I actually thought that, and as much as I love the concept of having a British Lions team and extra players playing, for the players this year in Cumbernauld, because Falkirk was long.
Falkirk was disgusting.
Yeah.
It was disgusting.
For Wales travelling up, some of them boys were leaving home 3 o'clock in the morning,
3 o'clock in the morning
still bowling. at
10 o'clock.
10
10
o'clock,
o'clock.
yeah.
I think that's Saturday that
The
we...
Saturday, but we're 9 o'clock as well. It
Saturday was
slightly
started at, what, like 9 o'clock, didn't finish till 9:30. It was a
Yeah.
full 12 and a
Yeah,
half
it
hours
was.
almost. Or 8,
Bottom.
it was like almost 13
how do
hours
you
long.
prepare for that as a youngster then? How do you prepare for that length of playing time? Because it was non-stop, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's non-stop, but I actually practice, like, me and my practice partner indoor, like, go down for 2 hours at a time and just play singles against each other, just for consistency, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, you need to get ready. In a Saturday, you play 4 hours, 21 ends
Yeah.
as well, so...
You probably just don't stop bowling, you don't, do
No,
you?
I really don't, to be fair.
I mean, that's and again, that's the thing with it. I think a lot of youngsters who really are, like Elijah's the same, right? You ask them, how do you get on with playing so much? And they're like, well, I'm down there 4 or 5 hours a day every day anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm either playing a match or I'm practicing. There's no in between. Like, they're just there constantly. And I think you can see the difference and then Billy's the same. You'll see Billy can pop down to Talbot for an hour on random hour
days, yeah.
on a random day, like that.
Yeah.
He's got a bit of time, and he'll just grab his woods and do 35-40 minutes of a drill, and
It really helps you
crack
indoor,
on,
I'd
like.
say. Practice makes perfect indoor.
What does practice look like for you then?
Just playing games, kind of thing, and sometimes, like, move the mat at certain places and, like, place a jack on, like, these spots and stuff.
Okay.
do you do drills a lot? Drills?
No,
Any
I'm
drills?
not really a big drill person, but just in game kind of things. Like, draw 2 shots at a spot and, like, try hit or something like that.
So, obviously, bowling at 8, by the time 14, Scottish Cup.
Yeah.
Who was an influence in you when you started bowling and you started getting better and better? Who was your sort of idol in the bowlers world?
Big player or, like, smaller player?
Whoever?
Both.
Both. Big player, probably Paul Foster. Probably the favourite. Don't know.
Have you met them yet?
Yeah.
Played
spoke to
against
Paul,
him yet?
Played against him. We have open pairs at my club outdoors and played against him. And it was actually set play, and I think we get
Is he as good?
Get beaten the tie break, I think.
Is he as good live as he looks on TV?
Oh, aye. Scary good.
Okay, so that's your big player
Yeah.
idol, yeah?
Yeah.
Who's a small player idol?
Small player.
Because you asked, I thought you had one, so...
Don't really know, to be fair. It's hard. Nah, I've not really got one. Just
There
the
we
one
are.
big one.
Okay.
Who takes you down to the green all the time?
All different people. Sometimes I just go myself, kind of thing, and just go on.
Okay.
Do
You
we
got
need to?
you got a big fan in your nan, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. She lives every bowl that you bowl. I can tell by the chat we had
Oh,
before.
God. Aye. Yeah. Really.
Okay.
She loves it as well. That's a good thing.
I mean, and that's kind of half the battle, and then as long as you, I feel like, especially at your age, if you have someone who believes in you as much as that, you kind of almost play not just for yourself.
You play for them as well.
Yeah, and then it kind of makes it a lot easier to, like I said, on your days where you just don't feel like it, you kind of makes it a lot easier to actually go do it.
Go do it for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, first cap again. I'm going back to Falkirk. First cap.
Mm-hmm.
Team manager.
Yep.
what are you laughing?
It's the first time I've ever stretched before a bowling game. Anyways,
It's the first time you've ever stretched. Yeah. So you did some stretching.
Yeah, stretching.
How impactful is it to have somebody like Judy Forrest as?
She's done basically everything she could in the game, so she knows a thing or two about bowls. So yeah, it's good to have somebody like that on the back of you. Tom Notman as well. He's a nice guy.
Yeah,
done pretty well.
And I know that.
Well, Julie just seems so easy to talk to.
Oh, yeah.
I know she, like you said, she can be quite, her presence can be sometimes intimidating because she's quite a big figure. But she seems so easy to approach and talk to.
Yeah, she has. She can moan now and again, but
I
everybody has a moan. Yeah.
So, and the other one is obviously Sophie McGrowther.
Yeah,
Sophie's. Yeah. And I was at Cumbernauld this year when she put them boxes on the side.
Yeah. Boxes are sweeties.
Yeah, but what was on the boxes?
Scotland 1 and Scotland 2, and just like motivational kind of word things.
Do you read them?
Nah,
be honest.
Not really, no. To be fair, no.
No? You don't read them?
No, I don't really read them, but
Because...
always listen to your team managers, that's the thing.
Yeah. Okay then.
Well, everyone gets motivated differently, don't they?
Yeah.
Okay
yeah,
then. Now then,
100%.
since Falkirk,
Sounds
your game has improved, hasn't it?
just a
So tell us
bit.
about the conversation that Julie had with you then, because she mentioned it yesterday. She said, "Ask him about what I had to say to him."
You said I
Sure.
grilled her. I grilled him for about 2 minutes.
She just told me everything I could do in the game, basically,
And yeah,
like believing yourself. I really had a bad attitude at a young age, to be fair. Like in Falkirk and that, I probably did have that attitude at the time.
It's easily done.
Yeah, but yeah, I've kind of worked on it a bit. Like when people get lucky, you don't go in a mood in that anymore. Just go play your ball. What you have to do. Like, Julie's brilliant, to be fair.
yeah.
Put a lot of confidence in her.
And like you said, for someone who's done everything she's done, her words kind of, coming from her compared to your random at the club, it's just going to hit so much harder, and you're going to believe it more.
She's a
you know.
world champion for a reason. Like, she knows everything.
Multi-world champion.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Scottish champion as well.
Yeah.
Like, going to listen to these people when they talk to you.
Well, if you don't, I suppose it's
It's a
you're
good
gonna
choice, but like, I'd always take advice off people, to be fair.
yeah. And however, there's sometimes you can get lots of people trying to give you advice, and then you can get lots of different different advice, and it just gets confusing.
I think there's difference in advice for trying to change your delivery and advice on how to be a better player.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
but
Like someone comes along to you and says, "Oh, I see you're delivering. I guess you should try this." You're probably just going to think, "Shut up, let me bowl."
yeah,
But someone like Julie's never going to come up and... Because Julia went through the same. She was asked to change her delivery for a year. She tried. She said, "Bugger it, I'm not doing it. It's too hard."
yeah.
I'm back. And her delivery's not perfect. It's different, but it works for her.
Just a bump, kind of
But
thing,
for her to come up to you and say, "Listen, you need to stop doing this. Is getting yourself in bad,
get back.
your
places,
attitude's getting you in bad, you're making bad choices or whatever
Yep.
she might have said."
Yeah,
You're going to take that on board a little bit and think, well, she might be right.
yeah, she's going to
it's
be right.
like, and then it must have, like I said, it must have worked because you won the under 25s
Yep.
the year after for Scottish under 25s at 16 years old, or are you still 15 then?
16, just
So
turned 16.
just turned 16, winning the under 25s, and then only missing out on the British under 25s by two,
shots.
which on obviously the last word could have it was looking good for a while.
Yeah,
Until it wasn't in the end. But, at 16, you've got another 9 years of trying to win that title, so it's like...
Yep.
So them words of wisdom from Julie Forrest must have been...
yeah, they were good.
They're starting to work, aren't they?
Well, and that's come from, like you said, that's come from Falkirk, where you weren't in... Were you in the chance for medaling?
No, I wasn't in the chance for medal.
Yeah, so from your first cap at under 18s in Falkirk and not being in the medal shouts at all, to a year later... You're in shouts for medals not only under 18s, but in under 25s you've won it, and the British Isles.
Yeah.
So it's a massive leap in 12 months.
Yep.
It's something's got to have clicked for you in those 12 months.
Someone did.
So going to Cumbernauld, obviously your second. Did you played any games in between that?
No,
Scotland.
so. No.
You mentioned earlier on before we started the podcast you've got another international series coming up. Not a series, a test match.
Test match against Ireland, yeah.
Yeah, so that's at under
17s.
Under 17s,
under
yeah.
17s.
Yeah.
Where's that happening?
County Antrim, I think.
Right, so you're going over to Ireland.
Yeah, going over to Ireland.
How many?
16 of us.
Right,
So
okay.
it's a
Is
big
that
team,
going to be rinks or is it going to be in a different format?
Different formats. You get, I think you play rinks in the first session.
Super 10s, is it?
Then you do some stuff like that. Yeah, you do singles, pairs, triples, and fours. You do 8 pairs it will be. Because last time I went it was only 12 players, but they've actually bumped
it
up
again.
that, yeah. So pretty good.
Okay.
I mean, that's good. I mean, again, you talk about under 17s, like
It's good to see
test
younger players
matches.
coming up
Yeah,
as well. Yeah,
you're kind of
you were there yourself at that age,
pushes
like
your 13, 14, like yourself, 13, 14-year-olds who are trying to get their first cap, who might be in the next year.
Yeah.
Gives them a bit of practice time.
Is that a mixed team?
Yeah, mixed
The
team.
mixed team, and I think that's good because certainly if I had related to Wales, if you've got some Welsh under 25 ladies, we've got some really young girls playing
Yeah, I
in
mean,
that. And
most-
if they had a chance to play in an under-17s first in a mix, that would be so much better.
So much better for
prepare
them.
them
Yeah.
for going into
Well,
the 25s.
what Cumbernauld last year, the Welsh team was young. We had Billy, we had, was it Tal that goes as well, and another Jack Davis. Was Jack Davis there as well,
No,
or did he
Jack
go?
didn't play last year, I think.
Or was he already gone?
He'd already gone.
So you had what, 2 or 3 players at 18, and the next closest was 15.
Yeah.
Or,
That's a
15.
Big jump.
It's a massive jump.
But we had 2 girls in that, didn't we?
Well, yeah, you had Nancy, who was,
Nancy didn't play in the under-18s.
she didn't go in the under 18s.
No, she didn't play in the under. So you had Ellie and Nancy were probably the youngest two.
Yeah.
And no doubt that it's different all nations are different, and I'm going to come back to the boy. But if they'd have played in an under-17s mixed indoors, that would have prepared them, because the first time then they're into under-25s. Ellie was a return, and I think Nancy's first cap at under-25 level. So it's experience, and it's about playing them younger in a young. So I think what Scotland doing with ITs is brilliant.
and especially in an under 18s setup as well, because obviously under 18s is different. It's a mix. Under 18s is mixed. You don't have girls, men, and women. It's mixed, and there's no limit to. Is it 2 girls minimum?
2 girls minimum, I think. Well, 2.
Could be 2 boys or girls.
Could be 2 boys or 2 girls, but you've got to have 2 of
so, like,
one.
Arguably for a 13, 12-year-old girl who is probably good enough to play under 25s, because it's a full 4 rinks.
Yeah, 16.
Isn't getting into an under 18s because there's 2 above them. All of a sudden, like you said, they're jumping straight into an under 25s
that's
series
hard,
without even being a Welsh under 18s player.
So you won in Falkirk, Scotland won.
Yeah, Scotland won. Yeah,
that was nice debut for you.
That was alright. Yeah,
Cumbernauld,
we won as well.
Scotland won as well.
So, some standard
what
to the fair.
A fantastic end of that when they were the triples and the fours.
Triples that, and
the
that singles,
was I think they were both down to the last wood of the last end on a tie break.
Yeah,
for the triples and the fours.
Well, Sean, I think.
Did you medal in Cumbernauld?
Yeah, beating the pairs final.
So you had the silver in the pairs?
Yeah,
with
the pairs. Abby Harris. Yeah.
Okay. So Abby,
yeah.
we're moving on later to another Rising Stars segment with Abby.
Yeah.
She's had a great year as well, and she.
Yeah, she's a good player.
Yeah, good lead. I take it she led.
Yeah, she led. Yeah, it's good.
Them Orange Woods, they're not very far from the Jack.
I think we got beaten the tiebreak. Yeah.
In the tiebreak in the end, yeah.
I just said one end tiebreak.
Yeah.
I think it was Owen Aspinall, draft front toucher, and that's. We didn't have a
Game
back
over,
ball.
yeah.
Like that.
And 2 woods each.
Yeah.
2 wood pairs.
That's no easy.
I mean,
and somebody gets a front toucher on the last end. It's like game over.
Yeah.
I hate it. We play a 2 wood singles down at our outdoor club, and it, like you said, it's hard when it's just 2 woods.
Yeah.
Even if it's 2 of you, front toucher. What do you do? Like,
yeah,
what do you do? Not much you it's set. Obviously, we play 2 wood sets, but you can't really do anything. As soon as someone's on that jack with 2 woods, unless your first wood is perfect and just touching it and moving, you can't really do much.
Yeah.
Okay, so under 18s, you've gone and entered the. How did you do in the under 18s Scottish Championship this year? Then
I think I got beaten the quarters maybe. Off a boy Sam McClue for Auckland.
Okay.
Beat me 21-13.
Okay, but then you went and played in the under 25s.
Go and win the under 25s.
And then you went on and won the under 25s. So why didn't you win the under 18s as well? That's the question there. But
if only balls work like that.
Okay, so
only balls work
you were
like
Scottish under 25 champion.
Yeah.
Brilliant achievement, isn't it?
That's a good achievement.
Yeah, well, them words must have been strong words. She was quite firm in what she told you. She told us.
Yeah.
She did say it was a bit, bit of a grilling, but
she was good. It was good, but
it was a grilling you needed.
Somebody be hard on me, somebody be too soft.
Yeah.
As Julie done.
And so who did you play in the final of the? Because obviously I don't know how you got to win it.
Bradley Buchan, I beat.
Right, Bradley is a player. He's an under 18 player as well, isn't he? Was he in Cumbernauld?
No. I think Bradley's 23 maybe. I'd
Right,
say.
I must have recognised the name there from the under-25s.
Yeah, under 25s. Just
Yeah, up in Scotland when they played in
Wales.
Frith. Yeah.
I think it was shorter for you to get to Frith than for us to get to Frith.
Oh, it was brutal, man. For
Because
us,
we
how long were you?
4.5 for us.
About 5.5.
Yeah.
So we see you in Frith. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me the old wink now. Like we know each other.
Best mates now.
Yeah. So you beat Bradley in the final.
Yep.
Score
21-13.
21-13.
Yeah.
Played well.
Yeah, really well.
And then following that, you end up going to the British Isles
Yeah, British
in
Isles.
Belfast with
That-
all the
that was
big guns.
Really good experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was what you say good experience? What was the best parts of that then?
Just seeing all the bigger players playing next to you, next ranked, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got to say at the time, anyone who's playing in those British Isles is the best player in
top
that
players,
discipline
yeah.
in the country for that moment in time, because they had to win the nationals, you know.
Won the nationals to get them.
So they got to be pretty damn good to be there.
And you got all Commonwealth Games players.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
You know,
so many.
We don't know
So
who
many,
all
yeah.
they all are at the moment.
Teams aren't announced yet.
Well, the Scottish team is essentially, from
we
what we've
believe.
heard, it's been the people who are going have been told, but they haven't released them yet, so they haven't been allowed to release them yet.
Who do you think is going to get in the Commonwealth game? Go on then. This is live from.
No.
Yeah,
It's not live.
It might be. No, it's not live, and probably the team will be out by the time this goes out on.
See if our guesses are correct. Go
Come
on,
on
let's
then,
have
let's
a little mini game of guess the Commonwealth players from
Scottish team.
Scotland.
Scottish team.
Men's first. Let's see the men's first.
Stuart Anderson, the singles.
Okay.
I'd say Ian McLean's hard done by then. I same as Jason Banks, went and won the world titles. Pairs will be Paul and Tatty, I would say.
I think Tatty's going.
Yeah, think Tatty's
I don't know if
going.
Tatty will be going. See, I think you're.
It's a big what if.
Yeah.
but
It's
I
whether.
think it will go. He's been there. plenty
Well,
of
the
times,
but the way he played in the BPL just
Oh,
gone.
yeah.
I don't know if you've watched any
Yeah,
of it.
I
I
watched
watched
bits of
every
it,
game
yeah.
he played.
So you are calling
phenomenal.
Stuart Anderson in the singles
Yeah, Paul and Tatty in the
and Paul
pairs.
and Tati in the pairs.
I might. Okay, that I agree. I think it's hard to not pick that team. If Tatty doesn't go, who goes instead?
Oh, no,
Banksy? Jason Banks with Foster in the pairs.
Yeah, would be. To be
You
fair.
reckon?
Yeah,
Stuart, I
think
think
it will be.
you're right. I think Stuart Anderson is
Stuart
guaranteed
singles.
singles. Paul Foster and obviously Alex Marshall. For those who don't know who Tatty is, Alex Marshall.
Yeah.
You can't argue with that pair.
I think it will be them. They
If-
just went and won the world.
Yeah,
pairs,
and
so.
if like I said, if Alex doesn't go, Jason Banks, you think next?
Another good player. to
He's
back
out.
it up.
He's one of the best leads I've seen, especially when it comes to a portable ring.
Plus,
Do you think they'll go 3?
Yeah, I think they'll go 3.
how many are they out to take?
Well,
3.
Three is the most. They can take 2, so you can put one in the singles and the 2 together.
They'll definitely take 3.
Yeah, I think there's too many strong players for a chance of medals.
Yeah,
that they
like-
just take 2.
I don't think Scotland
Should
are
they?
very big on them going to 3 players, but
Yeah.
see how it's like dropped from 5
Okay.
to 3 kind of thing.
I probably agree with you. I think it's out of them 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it will be.
there's a couple more that you could probably argue about as an outside chance if they wanted to take them, but yeah,
Yeah, it
for
will be
those 4, I think those 4 probably
Definitely.
in terms of partnerships that you can put together
Yeah,
and
100%.
ability wise, it's hard not to. Because obviously Jason Banks and Paul Foster played in the World Cup together.
Yeah, World Cup together.
Obviously Alex Marshall and Paul Foster have played
I
millions
suppose,
of times
I
together.
suppose it depends whether Alex Marshall has chucked his name in hat. With the
Well,
chocolate.
obviously during the
I think it
BPL
would.
broadcast, it seems that they were thinking about him be interested in playing
Yeah.
as it being it's an indoor rink, portable
yeah,
rink.
and in Scotland, I think he's a very proud Scotsman.
and
being
in
very proud
Glasgow.
nation. They're all going to want to play a
don't
Commonwealth
know
games
if-
on their home turf.
I think he's actually Scotland's biggest medaller in the Commonwealth
Oh, yeah.
Games ever.
Yeah, he's. I think he's the most successful Scottish medalist in the Commonwealth.
Games, yeah.
Okay. So
Um,
Over the
it'll
whole
be in
thing.
Scotland. When you put this out, make sure you
Hang on, we haven't finished yet. We've got
Astyn McKechnie is the man.
the women to
Ladies,
go
yeah,
first.
ladies. Yeah, come on in.
And I can tell you that Julie Forrest will not be in on that list because she's already told us that she's turned it down.
Yeah.
So
she did get a ring to see if she was interested, but she said.
I think it's because she had to
but
play outdoor bowls and she didn't.
She doesn't want to play outdoor bowls, yeah.
You get that?
She can't be asked.
They're going inside.
Yeah.
So what's the point?
Yeah. You think you'd probably consider your best probably ever indoor woman player ever? You'd think you'd be in the contention.
Yeah.
But the rules are the rules.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is. So anyway, come on in.
Who's in that mix? I'm trying to think.
Well, I would think the first name in my head that's going down is Sophie McGrath.
So, Caroline Brown. I'd say
Caroline Brown.
She'll be in it.
Okay. Then you got Beth Reaver.
Yeah. Beth Reaver.
I don't know. Beth's an interesting one. I
Yes.
think she's probably one on the outside looking in, but very close on the outside. She's kind of like on the window rather than in the room. Like, I think she had a really good year. In Potters in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
I think last year she probably didn't perform as well as she wanted to.
Yeah.
Especially after beating Julie herself and then not quite playing as well in the next round.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't have the best under 25 series.
Yeah.
In terms of results.
Yeah.
She played pretty well, but
I don't know many of the lady Scottish players, if I'm honest with you. I can't think of the names. Obviously, I would have thought Sophie's got a good chance.
I thought Sophie's got a good chance.
World champion, yeah.
And that was in Scotland last year.
Yeah.
The world
she's also
again now.
Performed quite well again in the Scottish internationals and the British Isles.
Yeah.
And especially in terms of experience, I think Scotland have got a good chance this year for the women to take younger talent.
Yeah.
I mean, the men are just experience across the board. They're not quite out to the works yet to take a younger talent.
There's a lot of players not in the international team that could probably go and get a job as well.
Yeah. So the women are, I think, you've got to look at maybe potentially taking someone like Sophie, who's good enough to probably play.
Good enough to do it. Yeah.
Might be a singles. Could be singles player.
Could be. Yeah. I'd put her in the singles.
I think I'd put her in the singles, and then, like you said, for the other women, it's who's
the Welsh team then?
Well, the nominees for the Welsh team at the moment are
Amy Williams, Lauren
McGowan, and
Sarah, non-travelling reserve. We're only taking 2.
And you've been people watching. You've been on his phone all the time. What's the score?
Well, I don't need to know. It's 17-13 to Sarah.
Okay, so that's very close. So there we are. They're playing in the semi-final. That's going to be an interesting one. But, we know Connetty's tough. It's going to be different. Amy's got lots of experience. The nominees are in. They're done and dusted.
Well, you've got Ross and Dan in the men, which...
Yeah, and
Carl
can't argue with them.
But I feel Carl's a bit hard. I thought Carl would have been a great add to the pairs as a lead, see?
Yeah, but Wales have gone with 2. So that's the way it is.
And it'll be interesting because England have gone with 3.
Yeah,
Ireland have not released yet, so I'm interested. If Ireland, Scotland, England all go with 3 and Wales go with 2, it'll be interesting to see how the medals work out. Which country does the best, and if we made the right or wrong choice by taking 2
games for Scotland as well. Because it's in Glasgow. So.
Well, I spoke to somebody who remained anonymous in Desborough when I went to watch the series England and Ireland, and I think they thought at the time. I think England had a thought about putting Catherine Redknapp as the lead in the pairs because the pairs women are on first, I believe. She gets to know the rinks, and then she goes into the singles.
Yeah.
However, I think it's a great move for them. They've put 3 players in,
experienced
players, and I would have been on Shan and Amy. One of them would have missed out, and I would have been horrendous for them because I think they've medalled in the past.
Yeah, it's an interesting, and this is why I'm hoping Scotland does go for a bit of a younger women's team, because England are going for the experience. Whereas there's a couple of England women's there, I think Emily Kernick and Nicole Rogers,
could go that job.
Again, young talent, or younger talent. They're in their probably mid to late 20s and top 10 in the world, both of them.
So, how many years, 8 or 12, before we see Astyn McKechnie on the Commonwealth Games team list?
16.
16.
Okay, you were that first as well, 16 years.
Yeah.
So, a dream? Is that a dream?
Yeah.
What are your dreams in bowls? What? Where would you like bowls to take you in an ideal world?
World champion. I'd like to try a BPL in Australia.
I think that's kind of your most people's
you
dreams.
You just see how it is. Like it's completely different.
And and even not like Gary Kelly's a good example of it, right? Gary Kelly plays for Ireland, still quite a big Irish.
Mm-hmm.
And I got this wrong when I first started doing the podcast. I thought he was Irish who plays for Australia now because he lives out there and plays for a club out there.
No,
he's not.
Still plays for Ireland.
He comes back. He still plays for Ireland, but he does play for a club out in Australia, the Warilla Gorillas. Great name that, isn't it? But they also played in the UBC, the Ultimate Bowls Championships, which is a three rounds event over 3 weeks, or 3 different days or whatever. I can't remember exactly what it is, but
it's weird, but you get like 5 points.
You get 3 points for a toucher. You get 3 points for an extra shot for leading after the leads have finished their bowls. Then you get a certain amount of shots for first, second, and third bowls. 10
first, 5 for second,
and
10, 5, 3 in it.
Is that format exciting?
10, 5, 2.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So
you and mate, when you go down and you practice down, do you ever have a game with points like that?
No, actually never, to be fair. But we done it at the outdoor last year. It was pretty good.
Yeah. Well, we do it down at our club. We play 3-2-1. So you get 3 points for first, 2 points for second ball, 1 point for first. And you can play that with a handful of people. We usually play with 3 people. When it's 3 people, and you can't really play a match, singles or pairs or anything. We play 3-2-1, and then you play kind of that. But yeah, but that format has something for people to get excited about.
Yeah,
there's a reason to cheer for touchers. Like how often, a toucher just gets clapped and it's like as if it was whatever. But if a toucher's giving you more points, like especially, can you imagine the last end, right? And you're 15 behind, or you're 17 behind, or 18 behind, even, and you can't get it on a full count of 1, 2, 3, and you get a toucher. All of a sudden, you got something to be excited. It's like darts, right? Darts, you have your 180s.
180s, then
get excited over a 180.
170s as well,
and 170 checkouts, and a 9-darter.
Yeah,
UBC as almost as a reason for bowlers now to get excited over actual things that happen within the game, not just the game at the end.
I'm a big darts fan, to be fair.
Yeah.
Darts,
Yeah.
Johnny Clayton's up there with one of the favourites.
Oh, good. He supports the Welsh. Lovely. He's a friend of ours now.
Okay, so that's some of your dreams. The biggest tournament. What's your favourite thing that's happened to you in bowling so far? What's your favourite tournament? Things that you won. What are them? Give me the 3 sort of main things that you.
3 main things. You Scottish. Under 25s indoor, probably club championship second, then your county stuff third. That's it. So the club championship was good to win. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, and the club, you obviously, that's the indoor club. Is that the shirt that you've been all dressed up?
Yeah.
What's just give a shout out to that club again?
Inverclyde Indoor Bowling Club.
There we are. I bet they're proud of you, are they?
Yeah. A lot of good players in there, to be fair.
Yeah. Any other internationals there?
2. Stuart McAleese and John Flanagan. So
okay,
really good players.
You just it seems like in Scotland you just bowl around world class no matter where you go.
Yeah,
and I think that's what helps the kids be so. Like I said to Julie, yesterday is thank you for winning the under-18s, because otherwise England would have won every single international this year. They won the under-25s, men and women.
Not that we don't like the English.
Yeah, but it's boring if they win it all, isn't it?
If they win it all,
they win it all. It's boring, and they've won it a lot anyway. They can at least share.
So they won everything apart from the under-18s.
Yeah, that's
men.
That was a tussle with England as well.
But they're close to winning it.
Yeah,
they were. Yeah, they were. The triples and fours that you won in the end, I think, broke it, didn't it?
Yeah,
because if it wasn't for Wales beating Scotland, They beat Scotland, the men.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Scotland were going to win the series if they beat Wales.
Well, Ireland almost beat England as well, so it could have been I
Yeah.
think Scotland needed a win,
Yeah.
and England needed a lose, and for a good while it was like that, and then Wales jumped ahead of Scotland, and England started coming back on
Did you
Ireland.
stay out? Did you stay out in Belfast for a bit, or did you play
No.
and then come home?
Came home on the Thursday night, but I watched the first game. Well, a bit of the first game against Ireland. It was,
So you didn't.
That's
You
a
were,
really
you were
good
hoping to get a
atmosphere.
call up. Somebody was injured, and you were up there, then you get called up like.
yeah.
Yeah, just trip someone on accident. Oh, you haven't
Yeah,
got any more reserves, get me in.
Stuart Anderson going flat on his No.
Well, that's
No,
something
no,
we could
no,
ask
that's
about
a
mine.
separate one.
Obviously, you played under 25s.
Yeah.
I mean, under 18s, you had Julie Forrest on the side for you. Under 25s, you had Stuart Anderson on the side for you. Like, I mean,
That's brilliant, yeah.
I mean, that's just
Another
ridiculous.
guy.
But not
Hitting
only
us a lot
Stuart
of
Anderson, you got got Darren Wears on the bank as well, and there isn't.
Connor Milne as well.
Yeah, there's
Another
a
one.
few.
Yeah.
There's a few really good players, and a couple of them are sort of just out of under 25s,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they know the youngsters, they know
They know
you
what
see
they're
them
doing.
around, they know what's around, and you can respond. So it's easier to respond to somebody younger than somebody an old.
Yeah, I know.
Why are you looking at me like that and smiling?
An older
An older bugger.
Old.
Yeah. This was going to be a really good podcast. I was going to put it out saying lots of nice things about him, but I just
Too late now.
I'm going to find the worst photo I can
Yes,
have to put
that's
on
good.
the front.
Yeah, a baby one
Oh, baby
from when
one.
you were like
That's
3 or
great.
4.
Okay, I think we've naturally come to an end. You're the first one on our Rising Stars podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you very much.
No problem.
Yeah.
Just remember when it all happened first, and we
Yeah.
were the star of
Where it all started.
yeah on the TV on YouTube. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, as we always say, follow us on Facebook, like and subscribe on YouTube. It doesn't cost you anything, and
Yep.
keep an eye out for this young man. I'm sure he's going to be a star of the future. Hence, that's why we identified him, and it was ratified yesterday when we spoke to Judy.
Judy
She
Forrest,
said you
yeah.
picked 2 good ones from Scotland to
Yeah,
start with. So,
Yeah.
thank you very much for listening, watching, and catch you soon.
Thank you all.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.